we have right now published over 150 video case studies of clients. And many of them have said, I have avoided this surgery. I've avoided that surgery. These are real cases, real people, real outcomes.
I want to hear from you guys. You mentioned you're actually working to heal them, you're turning their lives around. How many of you have had clients come to you who perhaps you think have been avoided even surgeries because you've been able to address some sort of cause that they were maybe headed down that path and a physician told them they needed a surgery, but you were able to avoid that? Has that happened?
All the time. I don't want my gallbladder removed. I don't want to have part of my colon removed.
I don't want my uterus removed. I don't want
Right.
anything removed. Like I don't want to have this eye surgery, right? Or this dental implant. This all happens all the time. I mean, and that's why I think to me, case studies are really important. When people talk about evidence-based medicine, I mean, we have right now published over 150 video case studies of clients. And many of them have said, I have avoided this surgery. I've avoided that surgery as a result of it. These are real cases, real people, real outcomes.
I've been able to hold off a knee replacement surgery because my symptoms have improved, and I know that inflammation was a big part. The pain was so bad, the swelling hasn't gone down in 4 months until I started this program. And with the change in the diet, the gluten-free, the pro move, the melt with the lymphatic drainage.
How can you not get better?
I know, I can see my kneecap. And I just went to the doctor today and he's, I don't think you're a candidate yet. Can you continue with how you're going with the pain that you have? And I said, yeah, I think I can. And the collagen, just keep the pain down and just start to work my knee again and see as far I can go. Because
this is just the beginning, lady.
I've had sinus congestion, like chronic. Prior to the program, I've had 3 antibiotics run from December to February. That the ENT actually suggested surgery the week prior to the program. And I said, nope, not going to do it. I'm going to go into a program. I think I'm going to get healed without going through that surgery. I don't have sinus congestion anymore. I don't wake up with like a headache. I've been eating well, like blood sugar management, making sure that my gut issues are like being dealt. My pain level has gone down significantly. I haven't had a flare since I started the program.
I want to actually break into why this live came about. Was, like I said, we talked to probably about 300, 400 people a month. But once a month, we will have a really heartbreaking story that looks like this. So I have a woman who was in her early 50s, and she had rheumatoid arthritis, ulcerative colitis, and fibromyalgia. A year ago, she was actually on the verge, literally, of joining this program. Okay. And she calls her niece, and her niece says, no, functional medicine is a scam. It doesn't work. Don't do it. And she didn't join. Okay. Literally, our own colleagues are doing this. And mind you, that person had no training in functional medicine, never even watched one of my videos, never talked to us, didn't understand anything a lick about what we did. 1 year later, this is about 3 weeks ago, the same woman calls us back, now ready to join the program. What happened? In her rheumatoid arthritis, her fingers now are permanently deformed to the right. Okay? Her ulcerative colitis, fibromyalgia, flaring like crazy. But worst of all, she got a new diagnosis now of lupus. And she says, now I'm ready to join the program. And I'm happy to help her now. But the thing is, for me, when I think about the autoimmune timeline, the sooner and earlier you intervene, the smaller the intervention you need, the cheaper that intervention is, and the easier it's going to be to make a big difference. And the later you go, the worse it's going to be. Every time a case like this hits me, it makes me really mad. And my colleagues, because for me, this niece who said this to this woman, I like telling her not to do this, and now she has permanent deformity of her hands and a new diagnosis of lupus. And my question is, who is paying the price for her ignorance?
Right.
And we're not just doing this to our aunties, we're doing this to our patients. All of us doctors out there that actually see 20, 30 patients every day, and we're saying this stuff over and over again, who is paying for the price of your ignorance? And how many people out there right now have had these comments from their doctor or from their family members who are healthcare providers?
I'm curious to hear from each of you doctors. What does this feel like for you to know that you're doing all you can now to help these patients and these clients in a way that perhaps you weren't before, but so many of your colleagues are still poo-pooing on your approach, or you're feeling for these patients who just aren't getting that help? What's the feeling like when you think about all of those many patients out there who aren't getting the help that you know someone like you and these other providers on screen can provide?
It's saddening. It really is. There's many times I almost come to tears describing the patients and people I see. It shouldn't be this way to me. We don't deserve this as human beings. You know, our God-given bodies are absolutely genius, and they're really screwed up because of what we're doing to them, you know, with our crappy diet, our, you know, reliance on technology, social media, all the chemicals in our food. And it's really sad to me. It's terrible.
Well, I actually have a pretty optimistic view of it, honestly. And that is because I've been in the field for 14 years. I've been a practitioner for so long. And when I very first started, the only people who came to see me for Chinese medicine were hippies. You know, acupuncture was something I always did. Or they had gone to the Mayo and the Mayo couldn't help them. So they either were desperate or they were hippies. And then that's when they would come in. People still wanted the magic pill. They still wanted the silver bullet at the time. So that was back in 2007, so 15 years ago. But then I've actually seen it change a lot in the last 15 years. And some point halfway through then, people started realizing that their diet made a really big difference. Gluten-free became popular. Doing paleo, keto is a recent thing, intermittent fasting. And so I've seen, like, in the last 7 or 8 years, most patients who are coming in, they've done something on their own. Their doctors haven't helped them at all, one lick. But there's enough information out there where they've started to implement changes in their lifestyle and their diet, and they've seen improvements, and they recognize, like, I'm not an expert in this, and in order to get where I need to go, maybe I need some expert help. And so I've really seen the trend change a lot, where it's like it doesn't really matter what their doctors say, because they're starting to realize I'm in charge of my own health, and there's things that I can and need to do.
If you think that you have something that could benefit from a functional medicine approach, type it in chat right now. I would love to hear what that is. You could get some feedback. We have thousands of resources, interviews, trainings, case studies to be able to share with you. I want this information accessible for everybody, but we're not going to be able to get it to you if you don't raise your hand. So go ahead in the comment section, raise your hand, tell us more about you, and we'd love to get to know you more.